Straight from the heart, a very good evening and a warm welcome to all our listeners across Sri Lanka and all over the world. You are tuned into this special broadcast, Radio Sri Lanka, over the airwaves of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. In this program, we will regularly feature prominent Sri Lankan personalities who have excelled in sports, education, business, and host of other selected professions. This forum will feature, straight from the heart, an open discussion with no holds barred as we seek to understand what it requires to achieve and taste success. And in today's segment of Straight from the Heart, we have the pleasure of featuring a distinguished administrator, a visionary entrepreneur, a leader in every sense, renowned for his foresight and unmatchable contribution, very specially to the Sri Lanka insurance industry. He currently holds a senior position in a number of key blue chip organizations, whilst functioning as a Director Technical, Chief Technical Officer of Selinco General Insurance, and now very aptly doing his bit for the education of younger generation as a chairman of the largest private education conglomerate in Sri Lanka, CEG Education Holdings. And we warmly welcome and say a very good evening to Watutantrage Chakreen Jagath Alwis, known perhaps better to many as Dr. Jagath Alwis. Good evening, Doctor.
A very good evening to everybody.
Firstly, in order to align our listenership to this discussion, can you briefly explain the importance of insurance from an individual's point of view?
Yeah, actually the insurance is everybody, all of us face various risks in the life. Some we could bear it to ourselves, and some of these risks will cause huge financial losses to individuals or even to the corporates. So the insurance is a mechanism where you transfer those risks to an insurance company for a small premium. And that is how it's actually a risk management tool where the individuals or corporates, either they retain the risk for themselves, share it with somebody else, or transfer it to insurance companies. So this is the very basic concept of insurance. And the insurance companies, they pool those risks and pay claims out of that pool to the individuals who incurred various claims. So that's how it's worked basically. It's like the traditional, I would say, the benevolent societies in the villages. They call the Maranadhara Samiti, and it's the same concept, but organized in a more professional way.
So now there you are, dear listeners. That's a small insight to you what insurance is and how it benefits us as general citizens of this country. Now, having explained the importance of insurance, do you think more has to be done perhaps to educate, enlighten the importance and the necessity, not only from a personal point of view, but more considering one's dependents as well?
From the point of view of the awareness, actually, I believe that the Sri Lankans, they are aware of insurance. And Sri Lankans, whether they are even from the rural areas, they know what insurance is all about. But the question is, the insurance company cannot reach the rural masses. And the traditional way of selling insurance or promoting insurance is through the agents. And then started through permanent marketing executives or sales executives attached to insurance companies. But still, you cannot reach the masses. The insurance companies have a lot of branches throughout the country, but still we have the same problem. But now there are a couple of solutions, and insurance companies now working with banks and financial institutions. They call it bank assurance, and they link insurance to their financial products. That's one way. And the other way is the very recent development using the technology, mobile insurance. And the mobile insurance, it's about started about 5 years back, I would say, and 4 companies are doing it. And within that 4 years, the insurance companies managed to capture 10% of the population of this country. So that's developing, and that's happening in most of the developing countries. Particularly also the underdeveloped countries, developing countries. And because it's a very easy way, because if you take Sri Lanka, the mobile users are almost equivalent to the population. And it's a very, very cost-effective way to reach this reach this rural community. And when we launched this product at Selinco Insurance, it's a personal accident product, we thought it's the people who are doing white-collar jobs will get this insurance. But we found the first claim was from a three-wheeler driver. Unbelievable. So we had to change even our campaigns to focus the average people, and which means they know what insurance is all about. So it's not the awareness. Awareness has created by companies, particularly after privatization, through their campaigns, it has created. And the question is to reach them. And at the moment we have about, in all of Sri Lanka, about 45,000 agents. But the mobile is a tool which could reach the customer much effectively.
So unrealized strategy happening there. Now, Doctor, from a country point of view, even considering the economic impact, why or how is health insurance important?
Health insurance is very important because I think the government is spending 3.5%, 3.8% of GDP for health insurance. And this is only 55% of the total health expenditure. And the balance 45% is pocketed out by the individuals. And the Sri Lanka, the system is it's a very unique society where the Sri Lankans, the extended family system. Take for example, somebody wants to do a bypass operation. The family get involved, friends get involved, and the office get involved, the old boys, old girls get involved, and you raise money. In addition to that, the government also, from the presidential fund, giving around 200,000, 300,000. So they think that they are very comfortable. And this is one reason where they are not going for a health insurance schemes. But today, is growing. The health industry is growing. Health insurance industry is growing. But it doesn't mean that the government it will move away from the free health system which we have, which is a fantastic system, and the benefit of that should go to the people. But this private sector health schemes or private sector hospitals, that's a parallel system. And the people, instead of pocketing out, they should go for insurance. And I think that's what should happen. And it's growing. The health insurance market is growing. But it does not take away the burden of the government from funding the health sector.
Dr. Jagath Alwis, well, yes, and very interesting statistics as well, mind-boggling in fact. In the year 2019, the Ministry of Health budgeted a staggering 232.7 billion for the health sector. And we are the beneficiaries, the citizens of this country, for which we should be very, very thankful for. So the facts tell for themselves the importance of prevention and fallback systems in case of healthcare necessities. But this is not only from an individual perspective, but from a country point of view as well. Well, that was for the benefit of all our listeners. Time for a break. Given the uncertainties we all face in our day-to-day living, the importance of insurance and why not? Yes, if you're just tuning in, first-hand information to the importance of being successful with health, well-being and safety as a priority. Do stay tuned. More coming your way on the other side of this break.
The home of the biggest stars.
Hi, it's Ed Sheeran.
Hi, this is Bruno Mars.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce.
Hey, everybody, this is Ryan from One Republic.
I wanna but I'm broken-hearted.
Our listeners love our station so much that they listen even while sleeping.
I listen to him all the time, even in my sleep. Is that weird?
It makes me feel energized.
This is
Radio Sri Lanka.
Love me, don't forget you love me.
Are you having a bad day? Don't worry, because we've got you covered with the best hits.
Keep yourselves locked into Radio Sri Lanka for the best mix of music.
97.4 and 97.6 FM island-wide. On web, www.sobc.lk.
Do you know what listeners like about our station? It's everything.
I like everything.
Welcome back, listeners. Yes, you're listening live to an exclusive straight from the heart discussion with Dr. Jagath Alwis, Director Technical, Chief Technical Officer of Selinco General Insurance. Discover what it takes to be successful and the importance of insurance and its contributing role to your financial well-being, helping to provide financial security not only for you but for your family when it is needed most. Doctor, coming back to our discussion, it's a well-known fact the pivotal role that you have played in the insurance industry, which has paved the way for many changes and improvements from the time you joined National Insurance Corporation way back in 1982. As a young trainee, that was. When you look at the insurance industry then and now, almost 3 decades plus, are you happy with the progress?
Yeah, certainly I'm happy, because when I joined in 1982, it's a very closed industry where we had only 2 insurance entities owned by the state, Sri Lanka Insurance and the National Insurance Corporation. Of course, National Insurance Corporation worked with 8 principal agents, and that's the only difference. And then since then, actually very few people wants to join the insurance industry, but in 1988 or 87, government announced the privatization, and that's where they allow private insurance companies to come in. And at that stage, 3 insurance companies, including Selinco Insurance, registered themselves as insurers in Sri Lanka. And today, if you see, there are about 12 insurance companies doing general insurance, 12 insurance companies doing life insurance, and the state insurance company, Sri Lanka Insurance, is doing life and general both. That's called a composite insurance company. And in 2000, Act number 43, they have set up the Insurance Regulatory Authority. And earlier, the insurance was regulated under the Ministry of Finance. They had a control of insurance. So the control of insurance is the regulator. Then they set up the Insurance Board of Sri Lanka, which was subsequently changed to the Insurance Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka. So they have done a lot of steps to develop the insurance industry with the players. And they allow the insurance agents examination. They introduce examination. You cannot just be an insurance agent. Earlier it's a part-time job. But now you have to sit for exam conducted by Sri Lanka Insurance Institute. Then only you can register as an insurance agent. And there are 45,000 insurance agents in Sri Lanka. And that's one step which they have done. And recently they segregate. In 2016, they segregate the life insurance and general insurance. Earlier, all companies were composite insurance companies, which means you do the life and general insurance as well. So since 2016, they have the law is to segregate, but they exempt Sri Lanka Insurance, which is a state-owned organization. They exempt it from the particular rule, and they are still operating as a composite insurance company. And after the Insurance Act 2000, Act number 43, the Insurance Board was set up. And then one other contribution which they have done to the industry is to abolish the tariffs. And in earlier, there were tariffs, which it's a fixed tariff. The price is fixed. The policy wordings are fixed. So after abolish the tariff, and insurance companies, they are competing on all these things. And the final beneficiary is the customer. The price, and also it's allowed them to come out with innovative products, innovative extensions, you called extensions, and of course the price. People are calling it price for, but I am saying it's for the benefit of the customer.
The general public.
General public, it's better going away from the tariff, because it has happened in all developed countries and developing countries. Now no more tariffs. So I think then I have seen after privatization, a lot of development, innovation coming in, and it's very interesting, and a lot of people has already taken the insurance industry as a serious industry. And like banking and finance, and so many, couple of companies are listed in the stock exchange, and I would say a lot of innovation. Out of those innovation, what we did at Selinco Insurance, Selinco on-the-spot claim settlement. And
first in the world, perhaps.
Exactly, first in the world. And we got an award also at the Asian Insurance Award ceremony for this particular product. And so as a result, other companies are also trying to settle claims fast. And sometimes they may not settle the claim on the spot, but they at least do the inspection on the spot. So it's a real revolution in the industry. And then things like bank assurance and the mobile insurance and all these things came after the privatization. So I think that's the big change which I really feel like, being a state-owned, controlled industry to a privatized industry where about 25 players are there in the market, and a couple of major foreign companies are also in Sri Lanka. And I think it's a big change. The total industry is now crossing about $1 billion US, life and general to be put together. So it's a growing industry.
So that's wonderful news indeed. A lot of dynamism has brought in, and of course, we as the general public of this country are the beneficiaries. For the benefit of our listeners, a quick recap on the benefits of insurance, firstly from a commercial point of view. Even when cash may be scarce or revenue down, small business should not neglect their insurance needs. Businesses that are under insurance or without broad, proper and adequate coverage are taking needless risks. From an individual point of view, maintain your current standards of living, and if you are disabled or have a critical illness, a cover will make sure your day-to-day costs are taken care of, and large expenses like mortgages, which will be covered as well through your health insurance recovery programs. Health insurance care costs like prescription drugs, dental care, vision care, and all other related items as well. So these are some of the benefits for us from a personal point of view and also from a commercial point of view. Now, Dr. Jagath Alwis, I'm sure many other achievements you have earned personally and of course to the insurance industry as well in Sri Lanka. Perhaps too numerous to mention. But one special achievement which brought much recognition was when you were honoured as a personality of the year 2014 at the 18th Asia Insurance Industry Awards held in Taipei, Taiwan. Now, the Insurance Industry Awards is highly recognized and considered as a zenith of the insurance industry in the whole of Asia, bringing international recognition as well. Can you tell us the significance of this award?
This is organized by a magazine called Asia Review, and which is based in Singapore. And this award ceremony is held in Singapore every alternate year, in the other year in a different country. So in the year I won the Insurance Personality of the Year award, this was held in Taiwan.
That was in 2014.
2014. And almost there are about 8 categories. Select the best life insurance company, best general insurance company, the insurance personality, and various other awards like that, about 8 awards. And all companies operating in Asia could apply for this, which includes the multinationals who are operating in Singapore as well. Say for maybe it's an American company or a British company. If they are operating in Asia, they could also apply for the awards.
So they are more or less the giants of the insurance industry
worldwide.
Worldwide.
Exactly. They could also, and also not only Asians, but the professionals who are engaged in the insurance industry from other nationalities also could apply as far as they are working in Asia. And this is the first time and the only time yet Sri Lankan has won it. Not only Sri Lanka, a South Asian has not won this award so far. So I think I make the Sri Lankan flag flying at this award ceremony. So I'm really proud of it. And the insurance industry also, they are quite proud of my achievement.
Very rightly said so, Dr. Jagath Alwis, and we are proud and also to have you in our studio as well, talking to you and hearing from you the recognition and also the value of this award from a context of Sri Lankan and of course Asian as well. Now, Dr. Alwis, you have authored and presented a number of journals and papers to more than 30 international insurance conferences held in many countries all over the world. Can we know a little bit of this?
Actually, insurance is an international business because of the risk transfer from insurance companies to reinsurance companies. So it has become an international business. So what we take from our clients, the risk, we will reinsure depending on the various criteria in the international market. So as a result, the insurance is a very close international business. And a couple of conferences, every year there are a couple of conferences and organized in different parts of the world. So I got opportunity to present papers, more than 30 papers in more than 20 countries. And some of these conferences, the participants are more than 1,000, 1,500 participants. So you should know what you are talking at such conferences, because the audience is from very educated and professionals and knowledgeable audience. So it's a challenge. I was very nervous when I was presenting the first paper, but later on I took it very easy, and I knew that. So it's and also I became a very popular speaker at these conferences, and the different countries, when they listen to my paper at one particular conference, sometimes for their national conferences, they invite me. So I have presented papers in 20 countries, 20 plus countries, and that has helped me to sharpen my knowledge and sharing with the others. I think that's a very good opportunity which I got.
And a wonderful achievement as well, Doctor. Absolutely. We are very proud of you, and also proud as a Sri Lankan as well. Now, Doctor, you were a past president of the Association of Insurance and Reinsurers of Developing Countries. You were bestowed with the daunting task of resurrecting and restructuring this prestigious organization. Can we know a little about this particular role that you played?
Actually, this organization, they used to have their annual conference and the annual general meeting every other year. But since 2009, they couldn't have it due to various reasons. And I remember in 2010, they wants to have it in Belize, and West Indies island, and there was a storm and floods, so it was cancelled. And then they want to have it, the second option was to have it in Libya, and due to the political unrest and things happened, so they couldn't. So then till 2013, the organization couldn't have their conference, major international conference. So then I took the challenge with the support from the insurance industry, Insurance Association of Sri Lanka. We bid for it and we got it to Sri Lanka, and they appointed me as chairman of the organizing committee, and also at the conference I was appointed as a chairman of the president of the association. And after that we continued to have it in Zimbabwe, then in Seychelles, then in Bahrain, and in Nepal. And this year, conference was supposed to, actually it's this week, I would say this week, in Ghana. But due to the present situation, it was postponed to next year. And so it's having the conference in different countries, like in Asian, next conference in African country, and
so keep on changing the locations as well.
Locations, and we actually managed to get the couple of South American countries also to get the part of it, and maybe one of these days we will going to have it in Mexico, and I am still there in the board of trustees of this association as one of the past presidents. So it's enjoys, like you meet different people. And some of these conferences, you meet about 1,000 people, and from different 60, 70 countries. So it's where we share most of our achievements, knowledge,
well.
And it's a sort of a learning curve.
Absolutely brilliant, Dr. Jagath Alwis. Your contribution truly has brought much recognition to the insurance industry in Sri Lanka. Yes, time for another break, and until we return on the other side, do stay tuned.
From the classics to the contemporary hits on Radio Sri Lanka.
Let's do it.
97.4 and 97.6 FM island-wide.
Shadows in my room, can't take back the love that I gave you.
Just the right kind of mix. Always turn you on.
It's always on my radio.
97.4 and 97.6 FM island-wide.
All the tears rolling down your face. Never be alone, I'll be there for you.
The radio is on, but the music is cool.
Radio Sri Lanka.
The radio station you can call.
Welcome back, listeners. Yes, we are in a live discussion with Dr. Jagath Alwis, Director Technical, Chief Technical Officer of Selingco General Insurance, as we try to understand the importance of insurance and also look at the successes achieved by Dr. Alwis. And absorbing 2 quarters, Dr. Alwis, much information to our listeners, which I'm sure will bring about a new thinking and understanding on the importance of insurance and also in a much better perspective as well. Now, Dr. Alwis, we also understand there is another important role which comes under your purview, education. Yes, as the chairman of the largest private education conglomerate in Sri Lanka, CEG Education, formerly known as Selingco Education Group. Now we know CEG Education Holdings, under which ICBT and ANC are the largest education institutes in the country, with more than 10,000 students studying in 7 campuses, providing students of all ages a learning pathway for a better tomorrow, that is from Montessori, primary to secondary education. Can you enlighten us on your role at CEG?
Yeah, the CEG Education Group was started with ICBT, stand for International College of Business and Technology. So I was the first deputy chairman, where Dr. Larry Kothalawala was the founder chairman of this organization. And in then we started American Education Center, American National College, in 2001. And ICBT was started in 1999. And in 2008, Dr. Kothalawala stepped down, and then I became the chairman of the organization. And since then, actually, we have ventured into different sectors in the education field, like from the Montessori education, teacher training, then we are ICBT and ANC, they are providing a wide range of degrees in Sri Lanka, where the students could study for a British degree or American degree whilst studying in Sri Lanka, the entire program. And my role is actually is to lead the team as the chairman, and also to make sure the quality of the education is maintaining the quality as required by the foreign partner universities, and bringing in new partners, bringing in new areas, new programs. So that's we at degree level, we are actually maintaining about 20 different sectors, from management to IT to psychology, engineering, wide range of engineering programs. So it's a big opportunity for the students. Without leaving the country, you could complete your degree in Sri Lanka by paying about 10% of what you incurred if you go abroad. And you get the degree from the foreign university, and it's equivalent to an internal degree of that particular university. So we save a lot of money, and particularly some people who are doing their students who are doing their MBAs, they need not to leave their job. They can, whilst working, whilst being with the family, because at that level you have a family. So whilst being with the family, you can continue your MBA. So that's an opportunity. Not only MBA and your masters in IT, masters in project management, and various programs. And the whole group, we have about 15,000 students. And in addition to the higher education, we have, through Vichali, we have primary and secondary education. So 15,000 students, and Vichali has 2 branches, Gampaha and in Colombo. And we have a company called Net Assets International. They are Microsoft Gold Partner. They won the Gold Partner Award couple of years continuously. And it's other interesting thing is ICBT won the National Business Excellence, which is award, which was sponsored by one of the chambers. And for about 9 years, since they started education sector, different sector for education, ICBT won that award continuously. It's unique. Last year in the education sector, ICBT won the gold award and the ANC won the silver award. So that shows the level
and the quality of education as well. Absolutely brilliant. Now all our listeners are aware and appreciate the importance of education to our young generation, our future. School is the foremost fount of knowledge children are exposed to. It gives a chance for them to acquire knowledge on various fields of education such as people, literature, history, mathematics, politics and various other subjects. This enables children to be more responsible, educated and disciplined adults who become the cornerstone of our society. Now, Doctor, we also listen to your thoughts and insights as to the importance of administrative activities in the education sector. Can we know the importance and also the role played by people like you in the administrative sector as well?
Yeah, it's basically the most important thing is the compliance. We have to comply with the local regulations. We have to comply with the quality assurance guidelines of the foreign university. So that's very important. And I think, and also to lead the students and your team. And I'm very, there's one unique thing in our organization. I have introduced something called a sports scholarship. There are a lot of sports students who are doing sports at the college level. Either they continue with the sports only, or they give up sports and continue. So I have introduced a system where you get a sports scholarship. If you are represent the college, a particular discount at the national level, another discount, like that. So which will help the students to whilst doing the sport, continue with the academic studies.
So it's a beautiful mix of academics as well as extracurricular activities.
Yeah, and actually at one stage we had still, I think, including the Sri Lankan rugby captain, we had around 6 or 7 players from the Sri Lankan national pool studying at ICBT. And cricket is also like that. 2 or 3 cricketers whilst playing for Sri Lanka, and there were the students who have represented Sri Lanka in swimming, tennis, and this it's something very interesting. And actually we used to have extra classes for them if their classes are crashing with their practices. So they have, so it has become more of a sports promoting institutions. And a lot of youngsters, they are benefiting by that. Whilst continuing the sports, they also can continue their studies.
The academics as well. A good education sector is one of the hallmarks of a strong economy, while much focus is placed on the quality of education and the outcome it produces. Now, there are many unsung heroes that support this sector in administration and operations. Our appreciation and best wishes to all of them. Doctor, you were honored as the Education Entrepreneur of the Year at the World Private University Congress in Mumbai 2014. Now, this is a very rare and certainly a very noteworthy achievement, perhaps not very well known to many. Can you tell us the importance of this?
Yeah, this is also like the insurance awards ceremony, Asia Insurance Awards. There was one such award ceremony in Mumbai, India, where they recognized the various people who have contributed to the education industry. And the organization contributed towards the education industry, particularly the private organization. And at this particular award ceremony in 2014, ICBT won about 3 or 4 awards. And I also won a personal award for the Education Entrepreneur of the Year award. Actually, I gave the ICBT to get the mileage, me being in the playing behind the screen scene. So I don't want at that stage to get more mileage on that. I want the educational institution to put forward. So that may be the reason why a lot of people are not aware. And that's also another prestigious award I won.
Very modest in your thinking, Doctor. Before we take a break, Doctor, a very important and a pertinent question, much in the minds of many. Now, when you look at the education system, particularly the private education in Sri Lanka, there are many private institutions, colleges, etc. Now, are these being monitored, regulated? Do they come under the purview of perhaps a ministry or somebody responsible for the curriculums, standards in these institutions?
Yeah, actually, it's education, higher education institution, they act only controls and monitor the local universities. But the respective university who franchise their programs to a local institute, they do the quality assurance. And it's very tough. I would say they do it by themselves, the university, and sometimes they allow the British, if it is a British quality assurance organization to visit you very independently. And they look at, we are not delivering our curriculum. We deliver the curriculum of the particular university. And they, in fact, they, even the CVs of the lecturers, they approved it. And then when they come for this quality assurance visits, they talk to the students, and they talk to the parents, they talk to the lecturers, the non-academic staff, and also a couple of prospective students who wants to join and why. And also sometimes they sit in a class and ask the lecturer to do the job. And we are monitoring the lecturer. And now, of course, actually, most of the lectures are videoed because we are online education these days, and we are sharing it with the respective university. So it's a very high quality assurance process in the higher education.
Even in the private sector. So that's a reassurance to all our listeners. Yes, if your children are studying in the private education institutes, yes, you're assured of a quality education system which is monitored and the standards are very well set in place. Time for another break. Is you're tuned live to Straight from the Heart, a discussion with Dr. Jagath Alwis, Director, Chief Technical Officer of Selangor General Insurance, and also the Chairperson of CEG Education Holdings. More on the other side.
From the classics to the contemporary hits on Radio Sri Lanka.
Let's do it.
97.4 and 97.6 FM island-wide.
Can't take back the love that I gave you.
Just the right kind of mix. Always turn you on.
It's always on my radio.
97.4 and 97.6 FM island-wide.
All the tears rolling down your face. Never be alone, I'll be there for you.
The radio is hot, but the music is cool.
Radio Sri Lanka.
The radio station you can call.
Welcome back, dear listeners, and yes, back to Dr. Jagath Alwis. Well, as we usually do, it's time for a little bit of personal information sharing as well. Doctor, can we know briefly about your past, your school, and your background, and of course your youth as well?
Yeah, I studied at Isupatana College, and I entered the University of Kelaniya from there, where I did my BSc degree in Maths and Physics. And after that, I joined the National Insurance Corporation as a training, nothing to do with Maths and Physics, but at that stage, it was an opportunity. And during the training, the National Insurance Corporation, they have advertised. When they advertised for the post, they said, okay, we'll allow the trainee to do, sponsor the trainee to do exams of Chartered Insurance Institute, London. And at that stage, there were very few people who has got this qualification, associateship and fellowship. So that has attracted me because even whilst in the university, final year, I was doing CIMA and I was a past finalist. So I thought, okay, I should do something new, something which is not common. So then my parents were not that happy I'm selecting going to a very unknown area.
Absolutely.
But it has worked for me.
Yes.
Then I got the associateship at a very young age, and also the fellowship. And in the fellowship, I specialized in the reinsurance, the field called reinsurance, and which is very few reinsurance professionals were there at that time. And since there were two organizations only at that time, a lot of people say either you have to be the reinsurance manager of Insurance Corporation or National Insurance. But I said, no, things will change. So let's do it. Actually, when the privatization started in 1988, I got offer as a reinsurance manager of Selinco Insurance. From there, I have elevated to the board position, and in my life, I have worked only in insurance, no other industry, until since 2000, where I got opportunity to get into the education field sector as well. So, and then I got the fellowship of the Indian Insurance Institute, Chartered Insurance Institute, London, and I'm also a fellow of Institute of Directors, UK. And so that's the basic education background, and I'm actually a very good, my hobbies, I'm a sports fan, and particularly being Isipatinian,
it has to be rugby for sure.
Yeah, rugby number one, and also then the cricket, hockey, and all sports. And I was working for Isipatan OBA for about, holding various positions for about 15 years. I was his first senior vice president of the OBA, and I was in the Rugby Management and Development Committee for almost 12 years. Then I thought, okay, I should step down and allow the young brothers to take it forward, and where I still am also holding a couple of positions, as I was the chairman of the Infrastructure Development Committee and a couple of other committees like that. So, in Sri Lanka, if you take cricket, I have watched cricket in every World Cup final where the Sri Lanka has come. I have watched it, starting from Pakistan. It's a coincidence. When I go for semi-finals, we are in finals as well. The last time, when we played in England, I lost the opportunity because Sri Lanka lost the opportunity to come into the second round. But I still watch a couple of matches. And so as like in rugby also, last 3 years I was there for the Rugby World Cup. And even last year it was in Japan, previously in England. And I enjoy watching sports.
So that's brilliant indeed. They're very much a sports enthusiast. School, university, much hard work, Dr. Jagath Alwis, to achieve success. Can you tell us what were the motivational factors and your inroads to the insurance industry? Was it accidental or was it planned?
Anybody, not only me, joined the insurance industry by an accident. So I also like that. It's not planned. But now there are two universities, local universities, they have insurance-related degrees, University of Waiambur and University of Sabragamuwa. So then students who are doing such programs will definitely plan to get into the insurance industry. And I think in those days it was not so. I saw an advertisement, I was attracted by that. I thought, okay, must apply for this. And it has worked for me.
Absolutely. Regrettably, time catching up and into our final break. Dear listeners, when we return, it will be our final discussion with Dr. Jagath Alwis, Director Technical, Chief Technical Officer of Selinco General Insurance, and also the Chairperson of CG Education Holdings. Do stay tuned.
Shadows in my room, can't take back the love that I gave you.
Just the right kind of mix. Always turn you on.
It's always on my radio.
97.4 and 97.6 FM island-wide.
All the tears rolling down your face. Never be alone, I'll be there for you.
The radio is on, but the music is cool.
Radio Sri Lanka.
The The radio station. Home of the biggest stars.
Hi, it's Ed Sheeran.
Hi, this is Bruno Mars.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce.
Hey, everybody, this is Ryan from One Republic.
I wanna but I'm broken hearted. Our listeners love our station so much that they listen even while sleeping.
I listen to him all the time, even in my sleep. Is that weird?
It makes me feel energized.
This is
Radio Sri Lanka.
Yes, as we return, a pleasant evening to all our listeners. If you're just tuning in, you're listening live to Straight from the Heart as we explore what it takes to be successful. We are talking to Dr. Jagath Alwis, Director Technical, Chief Technical Officer of Selinco General Insurance and also the Chairperson of CG Education Holdings. Now, if you have any interest personally to further your education or parents, adults, perhaps to direct your children to success, do take a listen. Dr. Jagath Alwis, many academic successes, achievements, much to be proud of. You have been in the administrative role, insurance industry and now in the education services, as well as to keep all your achievements. You have also been selected as a fellow member of the Chartered Insurance Institute of London, a fellow member of the Indian Insurance Institute, and a fellow member of the Institute of Directors, UK, and so many, far too numerous to mention as well. Perhaps a few parting insights to our young listeners as to what these achievements are, and with a little bit of determination and hard work, what they can achieve as well.
And for the younger generation, they think that to achieve various heights in their career, they'll have to study overseas. But that's wrong. Because you can do your bachelor's degree in Sri Lanka, a foreign degree. And there are so many institutions offering various foreign degrees. So it's the cost of that is about 1/10 of what you spend in overseas. So my recommendation is, unless you are doing a very specialized degree, maybe in aeronautics or sports management or something which is not available in Sri Lanka, please do your first degree in Sri Lanka. And your masters, you could earn money and go for your masters. And I have seen a lot of parents, they are selling their properties and they spend their gratuity, EPF, ETF balances for education. But that is for their future, to spend their retirement life. But unless the parents have a lot of money, they can do the bachelor's degree in Sri Lanka and then go for the masters. And even the masters are available in Sri Lanka. Other thing is, like a lot of students who are going out, they get used to at that age, the lifestyle in those countries. Then they won't feel like coming back and work. There are great, children, they are coming back, that's great. But most of them, majority of them won't come back. So we are losing the talent. We have a lot of Sri Lankan good talent working in other countries.
So what we call a brain drain.
Brain drain at the highest level. And also actually a lot of foreign exchanges flow out. That's their money, what they earn. So you can't blame. So you work in Sri Lanka, do that. Then you can decide one day. And don't think about okay, this political system is not correct, that is not correct. It's you who can change it. If you have the determination, you can change it. Nobody else. Your future could change by you, and our futures also could change by you all, being in Sri Lanka. And I think that's my advice. And even if you get qualified, try and come back to Sri Lanka and work for Sri Lanka. And one other point is, for the young generation, don't forget your college you studied. As an old boy or an old girl, contribute to development of it. You are supporting a generation to build. So it's something very noble thing which you could do. Try and help your school, whichever the school. Try and help your school. Help the younger generation, help the teachers, help to develop the infrastructure, help for them to do sports, and that will go a long way. So that's one of my advices to the younger generation, which I have been doing. And I know a lot of people from different schools. I actually make a lot of friends from different schools whilst working for the school. Not only you old boys or old girls, you meet so many others. And that's very interesting.
Very humble and very appreciative thoughts as well. Wise words and appropriate advice, no doubt, will be much appreciated by all our listeners. Well, time has caught up and time again for goodbyes. But not before we say it has been an absolute pleasure to have you in our studio and listen to the achievements and your contributions to the insurance industry and perhaps even more importantly to the education industry. On behalf of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, Radio Sri Lanka and all our listeners, our best wishes to you, Dr. Jagath Alwis. Yes. Thank you for joining Straight from the Heart and wish you and all our listeners a pleasant evening and God's blessings. And from me, Ashley Ratnayak, a big thank you as always. Until the next time.
Thank you very much.
Straight from the Heart, fortnightly on Radio Sri Lanka of the airwaves of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, as we feature exclusively outstanding Sri Lankan personalities in the field of sports, business, health, education and a host of professions to understand their success stories. No holds barred, straight from the heart. Do tune in this coming Sunday, 7 p.m. onwards to Radio Sri Lanka on frequencies 97.4 and 97.6 with your host, Ashley Ratna.